If you or anyone you know are planning to come to Canada as a student, or you are currently a student in Canada and are going to graduate soon, this might be just the right video for you. So please watch it till the end. This video is all about why it is harder than ever to get PR in Canada for the recently graduated students turned into workers, and what the prospective students should avoid doing. Please understand that this video is solely based on my guidance and views, so please do not take any legal or financial decisions. Let's get started. Before we start, let's understand what exactly happened during the last few years in Canada. Education cost in Canada is doubled for international students in the last 4 years. The requirement of GIC is increased from $10,000 to as much as $20,000 and may increase furthermore. The government's expectation from the PR candidates or applicants has changed since 2023. And in last few years, most students are coming to Canada not with the intention to study, but with the intention to get a permanent residency. But the reality is that most of these students do not plan on how to get their permanent residency after they graduate, and it's all because of this. There was this sudden rush of applicants started applying for studies in Canada after government did this major gamble during pandemic of inviting nearly 100,000 just graduated students, essential workers and healthcare workers with almost no score limits, and most of them got PR. Now the students who looked at that news and jumped the gun were also in the hopes of similar procedure with them. They had high hopes but bad diplomas, degrees and college courses, and now they have completed their studies. But the government does not have similar plans for them because we are no longer in the pandemic situation. So, is this the government's fault, or is it the fault of those highly motivated students who thought PR will be easy in Canada, or is it a fault of the existing people in Canada who motivated their friends and families back home with high hopes of getting PR after completing their studies in Canada? Well, we will not enter into that debate today, but let's understand what are the potential mistakes the prospective students should avoid. Let's look at some of the pitfalls that are resulting into the hardship of getting PR. The first point in our list is the intention. Nowadays, most students are coming to Canada with the intention of PR but not to enhance their own career. As a result, they don't even plan for their pathway of PR and just look at a short-term goal of getting a study permit. The second pitfall is the shift. The government has shifted its focus from just inviting the CEC-based candidates or the PNP-based candidates to the category-based candidates, which means that no matter where you are in the world, you can still be invited as long as you pass the criteria. Also, the IRCC is digitizing its entire IT system to support more of these category-based draws, which they clearly mentioned in the release of the Bill C-19. The next pitfall is the awareness. Most students do not do their own research and relies on their local immigration agents in the home country to make the choices of their career. And finally, the next pitfall is planning. Students do not plan on getting a permanent full-time job and rather stays in the vicious circle of doing the part-time jobs while studying and after they are graduated, which results into delays during their PGWP to apply for PR. There are many more reasons, but I feel that these were some of the most crucial pitfalls which anyone should avoid. Now that we know about them, let's try to understand how to take care of these pitfalls. The government never guaranteed a PR for students in Canada, ever. It was always those local agents hungry to throw you in the unpopular distant college for the hefty commissions, or probably your friends or families who got their PR easily before 5-10 years. It's high time to change the intention to come to Canada. The intention to come to Canada should be to enhance your career and make yourself more capable for the competitive landscape in Canada before we even think about permanent residency. But even with that, we have to think about permanent residency. You have to plan even before you apply for your student visa. We have to check those CRS scores on the government website to understand what the future will look like once we graduate. And if there is any possibilities of getting more points before you land in Canada, you should ideally exhaust those points so you can maximize your chance of getting a PR in Canada once you graduate. Some of the examples could include getting at least 3+ years of experience back home, or getting at least 2 or more degrees, or the highest degree could be master's or PhD by the time you apply for PR in Canada, and being within the range of age 20 to 29 because they are getting highest points. If you want to learn more about important CRS criteria like these which determines your eligibility of PR, go check out the video here. Before we continue, I would really appreciate if you could like this video as YouTube can spread it to the people in need. As government is shifting their focus to category-based draws, all this information is readily available online. Consume as much information as possible. Learn about those categories which are popular and shift your focus towards catering the government and the job market needs in Canada. At the time of making this video, skills and occupations in STEM category, which means science, technology, engineering, mathematics and statistics, as well as healthcare and construction are the popular categories. And the government has separate category-based draws for these occupations for PR with lower scores than general. But on the other hand, even if you have an MBA, you do not fall into any of these categories, and as a result it makes you a difficult candidate. So the goal here is that if you want to stay in Canada, you'll have to shift your focus along with IRCC and align yourself even before you choose to come to Canada or make the choice of taking that course, because that will decide whether you will get a permanent residency in Canada or not. Most of the time, your local immigration agents will only be aware about the colleges and the courses from which they can get the maximum commission. So do not rely on them for making crucial life and career decisions for you. All the universities and colleges in Canada have their own website and they have all the information on it. And there are tons of videos on YouTube like this one which are guiding prospective students like yourself. And they provide all the information for free, including the best colleges or the courses you should take. So consume the information as much as possible. If the university or the college of your choice is not very well known online, it also means that the companies in Canada will not give it a proper recognition, which might make it difficult for you to secure a job once you graduate. So be aware of that fact as well. And be aware that the course you are taking is relevant and the occupation is in demand by IRCC. And you want to do something in your career with that studies. As without motivation of studies for that course, you are already preparing yourself to fall into the pitfall of struggle. The job market is hard and the cost of living is at its peak, and to make it worse, the PR opportunities for the inland applicants are not popularized by the Federal Express Entry system. It means that you cannot rely on the old style of the expectation that you can get your PR after completing your studies and 1 year of work experience in any skilled occupation. With the introduction of category-based draws, it is crucial that if your past education as well as your career is in one of the popular categories, you prepare yourself to compete in the Canadian market and secure a job in that occupation once you graduate. On the other hand, if your category or the occupation is not very popular, choosing the province of education which can give you a PNP after you complete your studies becomes very important, as many provinces supports the students for giving them PNP once they complete the studies in that province. And in these kind of situation, you want to avoid the saturated provinces like Ontario and British Columbia. I will release more videos on the provincial streams for getting a PR, so please subscribe if you do not want to miss out on those videos. If possible, get a part-time job in the same occupation while you are studying, and if possible in the same organization where you wish to work after graduating, as getting a reference or having a prior experience in the same company will be the most easiest way to get a job in Canada. Some occupations where these things are possible includes administration, bookkeeper, machine operator. These all could also be a part-time job. Planning correctly about the province where you want to settle or the career you want to choose or the course you want to take are as crucial as buying that computer or buying that winter jacket once you land in Canada. And trust me, it will make your life easier in Canada. If you have watched the video till now, I have some crucial information for you which will determine your eligibility of PR once you graduate. The country is promoting French-speaking candidates. So if you are already speaking French fluently or have capability of learning French, you will have great chances of getting permanent residency once you graduate. And if you want to rely on Federal Express Entry system, make sure you are preparing for these 5 items. The age criteria, the highest education possible, more work experience from back home, as well as possibility of doing at least 1 year of full-time job during the 3 years of PGWP. And the last important point is a great score in English language test. If you want to learn about all these criteria and plan your journey for Canada even before getting that stamp in your passport, watch the video here where I'm explaining CRS points in detail.